Hello everybody and welcome back once again. Today I'm playing with some more 4-inch squares and I'm going to do a folded paper technique to make some paper petals for a page. Here's a quick example. For this one I use it as for a feature photo, but I can just see using these little pages with little small photos and doing a highlight with a title for a 8-day trip with day 1, day 2 with little mini captions. Make a great title page as well. Let's go into the craft room and I'll show you my fast, easy steps on how to create this layout. We'll see you in the craft room. If you caught my video, Squares on the Round, you know I'm playing with squares these days. If you haven't, I'll put a link below so you can watch that one as well. So this one is called Folded Paper Petals. I do have to do a shout out to Joanne Schultz. I saw her video and I thought, oh, that's so pretty. Um, it's been out there on the internet for a while. I verified a few techniques compared to what she demonstrated, just because it worked easier for me, and I think it might you might find it helpful as well. For this activity, you will need your trimmer to cut your squares into 4x4s. You're going to need 8 of them. Again, you can do different shades. You can duplicate shades, having only 2 colors, 3 colors, 4 colors, whatever works best for you. And once again, this is nice if you have any papers that are very big with bold designs on their own and they're a bit overpowering on their own. If you cut them down to little squares, it makes them more subdued and a lot easier to work with. So we have all this paper, let's use some of it up. As well for this technique, it'll be handy if you have a multi-tool or a folder to keep some sharp creases. And when you assemble everything, repositional tape might come in a little bit more handy. Demonstrations I've seen, they worked on their background paper. I like creating my square, my design on the mat because it comes with all these great lines. You can stick things down to it to hold it steady while you're working, and it's easy to transfer the completed um, floral design onto a page at the end. So let's get started. I'm not doing any more trimming because I've already done that. I'm going to go over how to fold your papers. So these are, when you're looking at your papers, they're going to end up with a design point at the top. So you may want to say, let's say at the top of the design, I want to have more of this detailed pattern versus the larger pattern. So you'll take that into consideration when you're folding. In order to do your folds, you're going to start by going point to point across the diagonal, nice and straight. And then you're going to want to fold one end in. Now I see everybody struggling to get a nice edge on that one. The best way to do that, to get a nice edge, is not to fold it inside, but to fold it to the outside first, because this way you have a straight edge to work along on the outside edge. People say it doesn't really have to be precise, but I'm picky that way. And then it will easily fold back inside to give you your perfect point. So that's one point. We're going to do the other side as well. I'm going to be line here in the middle, crease. There we go. And we're going to fold it to the inside. Now at this point, you can decide if you're going to have your petals with which side you want on the outside. And I have seen some for the finished product, they did stick it down so it gave you your 2 tones on the inside. And it would actually look really cute if you wanted to add some little embellishments or things flooring outside of that. So go on and finish making your 8 little petals, and we'll go into placing them on your mat. So here we have our 8 pieces, and it's time to set them on the paper. You're going to be using your lines.
So I'm going to slide down and I'm going to go between the 90 and the 45 and set them down after I tack them together a little bit on the underside so they don't bounce too much, right? Because I want them to stay nice and steady in the middle, I'm actually going to put a little bit of some scrap that I have here lined up on my two stars just to stick all the points down onto something. So there we are. I'm just going to put lots of adhesive on this. So that's what everything's going to stick to. On here, a little bit on the inside, holding down. Let's go with the first one, down to the middle in between your two 45s. On to number two. Again, in between my 90 and my 45. And up. There we have it. And number three. Once the folding's done, the rest is pretty much straightforward. There we have it. All our petals are in place. Now to finish it off, um, you can put a square photo on, a circle, a round. You can, if you like the textured look to it, you can add little pop-ups underneath each tip. So as you place it on your base paper, it will stay lifted a little bit. Otherwise, you're kind of all set. As well, you can use one of your frame punches or one of those 6-inch punches to make a nice decorative edge around the sides. Here are some examples, courtesy of Joanne Schultz, of things that she's done. Is depending on the color patterns you use, it can be seasonal, it can be fancy, it can be easygoing, whatever works for you. But that's the base technique, folded paper petals. So here is a look at my completed page. I did finish mine with a feature photo. It started as a 5x7, so I did cut it down to a 4.5-inch circle using the custom cutting system. So I would have the small circle I cut on the outside with the blue blade, and then I did double mat it at 5.25 and 5.5, and that's using the medium circle on the custom cutting system, cutting with the green blade and again with the blue blade. So again, using it as a title, using it as a feature photo, whatever works best for you.
Well, thank you once again for joining me today. I hope you had fun with this little creative challenge. I'll catch you in my next video. Don't forget to share me with a friend, and you can find any printed instructions I do make for my videos in my Facebook group. The information on how to connect with that is in the description below. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon.